So, working with a newcomer, we are gradually moving to the third stage. The third stage, which is called training your partner on how to work with their first lines and what your role as a mentor is at this stage. Let's summarize what we talked about in the previous videos. The first stage is called the preparatory stage. Our task is to guide the person and maintain their energy until they make a decision. This usually happens at an event. Stage number 1. Stage number 2. When we made a mutual commitment, when we taught them to work with the list and invite people to meetings with us, in other words, we are essentially working for him. Remember the rule: your first line is built by your mentor. You build the first line for your partners, and then this principle will be established further. This is very important. Why? If you use a different model, everyone works on their own. Everyone works independently. You will always rely on the same thing. You won't have the dynamic that you need. In the beginning, before receiving their first check, before gaining that initial confidence, everyone needs support in the form of a third party, in the form of you as a professional. They won't sell themselves as well as you will sell them. And you will never be able to influence your environment as much as your mentor will. So, the second stage is working with the list and inviting people to meetings. And the third stage, what happens? As a rule, by the third stage, the person already becomes a director. You have helped them conduct meetings and you are helping them manage consumers. In other words, the task is to fully immerse yourself in your newcomer's business. That means you should take as many steps as possible with him. He has become a director, and here we move to the second level. He starts to have people who also begin inviting others to meetings on your behalf. This is the perfect time to start nurturing a leader in your newcomer, your new partner, showing them that they can continue to do this on their own. There is the biggest trap for mentors. When they get a person, they bring them to meetings, their people start bringing others to you for meetings, and your schedule effectively gets overloaded. And you focus on one person. The following happens. First, you deprive your newcomer of the opportunity to grow. You are taking away his chance to truly show himself. And the person says, well, I want to help him. You are doing him a disservice. You are taking away his leadership. I always say this: never do for your people what they can do themselves. And it's an illusion to think that I can do it better for them. Yes, of course, you will do it better for him, but he will never become independent and strong. When I started building the business, I was in a small town with a population of 70,000, and my mentors were not physically with me. We were on the phone, in touch. We didn't have an office, no Skype back then, no internet, and no one could do it for me. If not me, then who? I'm getting my first people, I need to give a presentation, and I had to do it. Conduct the first meetings, hold the first business school. I crammed lectures at night. I memorized a wide variety of materials for one purpose. This is my business. This is my life. My success depends on me. We are returning to the starting point. And that's exactly why I never buy excuses from my people. I can't do something. I don't know something. Did you learn a poem in school? Well, yes, I did. So, learn it here in the same way. A business meeting. Your task is to become a mentor as quickly as possible, to become strong and grow internally. Remove this mindset of, I am small, I don't know something, I can't do something. My task is to constantly instill this program in the person's mind and elevate their own significance in their own eyes. And what happens at this stage? My task is to teach my partner to conduct meetings independently. At all meetings he learns, at all meetings he turns on the recorder. After each meeting, I analyze the meeting and tell him, look, I answered the questions like this in this meeting. I responded to the objections like this. Here, I have really opened up the person, meaning I comment on their meetings, I guide them on how they should behave during meetings. In other words, I teach them how they should pass on the information further. Here is the role of mentorship. What happens next? We reach the point where he has learned to conduct meetings independently. That's a very good sign. People are signing up for discounts on their own. His partners invite people to meet with him, he conducts meetings for them, and his team gradually begins to grow. This is the thrill that once you reach this stage, you will truly fall in love with our business. Why? It seems like you started spending less time on a specific person, but they began to grow and develop, delighting you with their achievements. This frees up your time for new organizations and new branches. This stage is really the most challenging one, but once it is completed, you will have caught the wave of how this business is truly built. But at this stage, your task naturally does not end. You move into a new phase, which is teaching the person how to manage their partners. What is your task here? First, you switch to the 8+1 meeting format, meaning that during the week, let's say, he conducts individual meetings, 5, 8, 10 meetings, and his people again. need the effect of a third party. And you tell him, so gather the people with whom you have had individual meetings, and I will conduct the 8+1 meeting format for them. What does this mean? There is you, there are 8 of your invitees, with their partners, maybe sponsors, it doesn't matter, 4 or 5, new people, and you are holding a general meeting. Essentially, it will be like a follow-up meeting or a refinement. Moreover, even if I say the same thing that my partner said to them, it will sound completely different coming from me. What am I doing here at this meeting? I am showing the deeper essence of our business. I sell events more deeply. I sell him as a mentor. That is, I always return his influence to his people. And that is my task in these matters. Help people make the decision to attend the event. Remember, we talked about the first stage, bringing a person to the point of making a decision. So, your task is to help your new partners do this, and the following happens. You focus on your person. They gather people over the course of a month and a half. He conducts meetings, and once or twice a week, you conduct an 8+1 for him with one main focus. We work towards events. And then the next moment comes, he brings 10, 20 people to the team. He is happy, he is delighted, it's his team. He is usually already in the status of a silver or gold director, and he has turnover. And 20 people came to the event, and as they leave the event, they make a decision. And at this moment, you sit down with him and plan his qualification with his people. And this will be the next stage, the 4th stage of interaction with your partner. How to properly analyze their network, how to correctly involve people in the growth of mentors, in qualification growth, and how to properly plan organizational workshops. We will discuss this in the next video.